Hey, welcome to Race Talk Live's In the Zone's Race Talk Live online. Bill Britt and Bobby Potts with you here. Bobby, go ahead and take it away for a minute.
Why? Oh, you got to talk.
Because he's in charge. He said so.
We're setting it. He's sitting there talking on the phone. Okay.
Don't worry, Bill. We'll keep the show going.
Hey, we got the Royals up 3-0. Lorenzo Cain just hit a 3-run homer. How about that?
Who hit that?
Are you a Royals fan?
Who hit that?
Lorenzo Cain, I believe.
He sure didn't do nothing last night.
No,
they stunk it up.
You guys need to get something to do if all you got to do is watch baseball at night.
Hey, they're like the world champs, man.
Yeah, it's seriously the worst time of the year. Sunday was depressing. I said, Sunday I'm going to sit home and watch NASCAR.
Yeah,
I realized NASCAR ran Saturday night. There's no college basketball on. There's no football. Oh, we got baseball.
You're not a baseball fan, huh?
No.
Okay. Hey, one thing we just got off the radio with you, and I didn't get to talk to you. How'd you get started racing anyway? You never did get into any of that.
I was like 18 years old, showed up at the racetrack, decided I wanted to race. No, not really. Born and raised there. My dad's been running for forever. He's taken the last couple of years off. The old car's still sitting there. In my interview, I talked about at Hayes racing on borrowed cars.
Yeah.
I told him when he walked down to the pits afterwards, he came over and he told me, he said, "Good job." I said, just know that the next borrowed car is yours. And my motor will drop right in there. So he said, good luck with that, but I think he'd let me do it. Right now we got the hobby stock thing going. We're learning. We're trying to figure stuff out. So we're gonna stay there right now. I'd like to get back into sport mod eventually.
I was gonna say you owned a sport mod and never really got to race it. You did run a sport mod a few times, and then you got your good car. And never got to race it.
Yeah, Tommy's got.
He didn't get to race the sport mod much because he kept spitting the springs out, so he couldn't figure that out. The hobby stocks, you can't spit those out, or at least I don't think you can. At least I've never seen it.
Well, you hope they don't come out anyway.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
In all reality, it's financial. I built a heck of a car. Extreme Motorsports. Everybody great built me a nice ride. Picked the frame up. We put it together. Every nut and bolt was brand new on that. Traded it to Angel Munoz for this hobby stock race ready for my car roller. I thought it was a fair trade. Great motor. Had about 15 shows on it. Dominic T-Fault out of Topeka originally built it. But Angel won like 16 A features in that car I built. And I thought, yeah, that could have been me. And I thought again. So
Then again, maybe it couldn't have been you, right?
I think we could have picked up a couple wins in it. It was a very nice piece.
Sure.
There's no doubt that
what made you change your mind?
money. I had none. I traded a car roller for a race-ready car that I could go with a crate motor, a power glide. I knew when I took that car to the racetrack it was going to be a good piece and I could go racing. I set out a whole year and I just miss racing. It's just the fact of being on the racetrack. So we've had a lot of fun in the hobby stock. It's competitive. I have met so many friends in the last year. And even the sport mods and the hobby stocks and in every class all around, just traveling. I think I tallied it up. We ran 51 races last year, and I met some amazing people. So we had fun. We're broke, but we had fun.
I thought Tommy Foes was close by here last weekend out at Hayes. Where'd he finish?
Fos was actually at a wedding in Oklahoma City, so I don't know if he's watching online. I'm sure he listened to the radio, but
that's why I'm saying this.
Yeah, he's not that big. He's like a teddy bear. When you look at him, you're like, man, that guy's big. You start talking to him, he's really soft. So.
You're gonna learn today, though.
Yeah, if somebody's gonna learn, it's gonna be him. So he's one of them. When I got in the hobby stock. It goes back to Minneapolis days. My dad actually was racing, and Matt Hinkey out of Western Kansas, he was running modifieds, and my dad, I didn't know who Matt was, but my dad got into him in the heat race. Well, Fos was walking around the pits, and I didn't know who he was either with his shirt off.
Oh.
But he was down there by Hinkey, and I thought, man, that guy's Matt Hinkey. So I told my dad, I said, Dad, you got to quit running that guy over. I said, I'll fight him, but that's going to hurt. Tommy, everybody thinks he's a big, scary guy. He has He has his issues. He's definitely he's got.
He's not afraid to throw a hook.
No, he's not. Adam Armstrong will vouch for that. Beatrice, Nebraska native, probably still has a black eye, but he's a great guy. He's the first one that stepped out to me really when I got in this class. Said, "If you need anything, I'll help you." He's the first one that knew I had a hobby stock. Him and Angel Munoz are friends, and Munoz told him, he said, "I just dropped that hobby stock off in Salina, Kansas to an Eric Cross." He said, "You know him?" He said, "Nope." But he sent me a message and told me that if I needed anything, he'd come help me. So I met a great friend. One of the first races that we ran together, I destroyed his race car.
How did you not get punched?
Because he loaded up and left, and I left my helmet on. So it took a week of apologizing, but it was all good.
Tommy, this isn't an adrenaline-filled sport, and when something like that happens, it escalates really quickly. How do you guys deal with that?
We let the racers take care of it.
Yep.
So, there's two people going at it or whatever. And if it gets real bad, somebody can go in the cop car and somebody can go in the ambulance, and the sheriff can take care of them. And if somebody has to go in the ambulance, then I'll take care of them. I know. I mean, I don't know. We try not to get involved.
It doesn't get that bad, does it really?
When Fos is there.
It just depends. I mean, out at our place, it hasn't yet. Thank God. But
it's like I said, this is an adrenaline-filled sport. These guys spend tons of money on these cars. They're not afraid to rub somebody up with them. But when it goes bad pretty quickly.
It can go bad quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And it can get ugly. And that's the thing. Let the drivers settle it because they'll work it out.
That's what we tend to do. Plus, I don't want somebody else, running over there and trying to separate them, and then they get, collateral damage and they're involved, and shovels and sledgehammers will come out, and then it'll be bad. So, because a physical confrontation, it's not fun. It doesn't matter how big you are. If two big guys are going at it, two big guys hit hard, and it's going to hurt. I don't like to be hit, so I got shovels and sledgehammers.
I think
it's just, I
think the best sign somewhere I've read it. It's been on the internet. You guys have all seen it. You fight in the pits, you go to jail. You fight on my front stretch, you get $100.
I was going to say,
don't put that sign up.
That's what C-Ray tells you. If you're going to do that, be sure to do it on the front straightaway.
Well, he had a really good deal last year. Was it at Hutch Nationals that the Robes and somebody else got into it? That was great for the fans. It was
right
awesome.
Right out front.
NASCAR sold a bunch of seats with who was it? I want to say Bobby Allison and Cale Yarborough?
Yeah,
was it those two back in the 80s?
Well, that was
first
a long
ever
time
televised NASCAR
race. Yeah, first
race.
ever race on
decided
TV.
To brawl
and they
in
got
turn
the
4.
fisticuffs.
Yeah.
But back in the day, that stuff was, it happened.
Yep.
And they shook hands afterwards and on about the business. You can't do that now, though. Too much political correctness. Blah, blah.
Yep.
I'll never forget the time I was sitting in the stands and Jeff Dame and Brad Morris had a demolition derby on the front straightaway with their modifieds. You've seen that stuff. As a kid, I've seen that stuff all the time. We're at Junction City. You've seen 150 guys throwing down, and the cops never showed up. Nowadays, the cops are standing there waiting for it. But
do something.
I think everybody gets along so much better nowadays, and it's the buddy system. I'm not going to let anybody get the crap beat out of them. And me and Fos are good buddies, and there's a guy last year he was trying to go after, and I'm not going to let him do that either because, like you said, the political correctness, people sue, people do that. I think that's what has really tamed it down a lot.
A lot, lawsuits and, just any of that. It's just, it's crazy now.
And we need really guys, the four of us sitting here have a desire, a passion for this sport. And we need the occasional fan to keep coming up. We need that occasional fan to come to the racetrack. We don't need them to see the negative side of this first night they're there, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Then they'll be like, the fight broke out. Why'd I go?
Yeah. Even not so much the fights on the racetrack, but you're talking about the occasional fan or the diehard fan. Something we have to combat now is, social media.
Yeah.
And the occasional fan may look at that because Eric Cross has got thousands of friends on Facebook, and somebody puts something on his page about something, whatever, and 1,000 people, well, not just 1,000, everybody he's friends with and they're friends with, and it can go on. And so they see that and they're like, I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to. And so every time somebody, you might not agree with something that happens at the races, at the bar, at the restaurant you were at the hockey game or whatever, but I mean, everybody's so quick to jump on the internet and, throw their 2 cents out there, and it hurts everything.
Yeah.
Not just racing.
I remember when the forum deals like
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
whowon.com.
whowon.com, when it all got started.
Who wants to talk to IMCA?
I remember
Who is it?
IMCA
7:30?
Racing. At 7:30.
You better answer it.
Hey, get it.
You're in trouble. You're probably going to get fined.
Who is it?
It said IMCA Racing out of Benton, Iowa. That was definitely IMCA.
There you go.
We should have put them on the show. What was
Why
I
didn't you
thinking?
come on?
Ah,
Call him back.
I bet you it's Bridget, or it is Brett Root's wife.
They probably want to impound
Virginia.
that car.
Virginia.
And they want to impound that car now and check it
Yeah.
to make sure it's legal. That's what they're wanting.
Yes. That car come out of the hedgerow, so you can blame the tree that grew up through the middle of it to hit the frame.
As you know, if you listened to us earlier, folks, Cross picked up his first feature win on the season out of Hayes, Kansas. Of course, we're here with Tommy Hendrickson from Salina Speedway. It's been a good night so far. It'll continue a good night. Congratulations, Eric. That was a good run for you.
you.
Won from the front. Was it hard to hold on up there?
Yes, that's an understatement. Yeah, I've always said my whole life. I said, if you start on the front row, you ought to win the race. Then you sit back and think, 2 guys start on the front row, so one of them is not winning. But 5 guys, you could have thrown a blanket over all of us. It was a heck of a race, heck of a show. Luckily, Dirt Track Censor was there to tape it. They do all the recording out there, so you can watch it online. So that was nice of them.
What were you thinking coming around the last few laps? Were you thinking?
With 1 to go, I got turned sideways in front of the pack.
I seen that.
And I'm not counting laps. I'm just trying to hit my marks. So I'm sideways coming out of 4 and looking over, trying to figure out who's going to take me out. Luckily, everybody checked out. But then they throw in the white flag, and I thought, well, nothing like bunching us together. So I drove it into 1, hit my marks, drove it down into 3, hit my marks getting in, picked the throttle up a little bit early. Car got sideways, but I was just thinking, man, hold on to this. Our goal was to go there and finish good, get some points in another guy's car, and hopefully get ours done soon. But we didn't plan on winning, that's for sure. You never plan on winning.
I've always said this, and I don't know if Bobby agrees with me or not. I think it's hard to lead that many laps. I mean, I think a driver makes mistakes and overthinks. At least it's hard when you're out front for that many laps to keep hitting your marks.
It's not hitting your marks to me. Once you race so long, mistakes are limited. But it's the fact that the guys behind you are trying everything that you're not. If you're running the top and they're running the top, obviously they're not going to get around you on the top. So they get to go try the bottom. Where, like I was at Hayes, and my cousin told me, she said, move to the bottom. She's up against the fence telling me to move to the bottom. And yeah, my philosophy at Hayes is never move to the bottom. So I pulled off at turn 3, and I looked at everybody standing in the pits, and I was pointing at them. I said, move down, and everybody said no. So I went back to the top. But I'm not too worried about making mistakes. That doesn't bother me. It's the fact that everybody behind you gets to try a different line and gets to figure something out, and you're not in the position to try anything. You do what got you there, and you stay there.
Yep.
That cost me at Boone. Jason Wilkinson, the guy that won Super Nationals, we ran side by side the entire heat race. So my brother was telling me the whole time to move up, but I didn't pass him on the top. I passed him on the bottom. I passed everybody on the bottom. So why move up? If I'd have moved up, I'd have won the heat race. So I live off the philosophy: if you stick with what got you there, and hope it finishes off. But like you said, the hardest thing to do is lead every lap. I'd rather be in second place with 5 to go than leading. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's not as easy as everybody
I
thinks.
can't
Is what I'm
remember
trying
who
to
was
say.
it started beside you. Who started on the pole?
Brady Binkin. So
Brady
and
did,
Brady's
okay.
fast. He's won 4 in a row there
Yep.
last year. Won a lot of races. The kid is good. It's tough out there. So
You got some good hobby stocks for sure.
me and him ran the first couple laps side by side. I was better in 1 and 2. He was better in 3 and 4. Well, when the caution come out, he was leading coming out of 3 and 4. So he gave me room. Everybody, that class, it's a miracle. 10 years ago when hobby stocks come out, everybody was rolling every night. And there was no respect, and now it's like the class is full of respect, and so it was nice.
Well, we better cover this on the internet show as well. Of course, kudos to Billy McBride.
He's I don't know if he's watching this. I hope he is. Thanks, Billy, for ruining a car that we spent a lot of time on. But only guy to ever roll in hot laps, I think. In his defense, that was the longest hot lap session I've ever ran.
How many laps was it?
I bet you it was 7 or 8 laps of hot laps. They were trying to work the track in a little bit more, so
Still slimy?
it was from the center up. The center down, that track typically goes dry slick towards the end of heat races. They get a decent car count sometimes. It's slick before that, but it was still a little extra water in hot laps, and they let those. We had one session of hot laps for the hobby stock. They let them go pretty much twice as long, and Billy decided the last lap's the best lap. So he put her on its top.
Roll the car back over after you got him out. You went over and helped him.
Yeah, we put think about 10 rivets in the body, changed the left rear tire. His radiator cap is an amazing thing. He landed on his radiator, and it actually shoved the whole snout of the radiator down inside. The cap is flush with the entire radiator, and it does not leak.
It's still sealed off.
It's still sealed off. The only thing what was awesome was he leaked 7 or 6 quarts of oil out on the racetrack. Or off. He wasn't on the racetrack, off the racetrack, but upside down it leaked 6 quarts of oil. So fired the car up, it ran, water wasn't leaking, looked in, said 10 pounds of oil pressure, shut it off. Start putting oil in it until we got to 60 pounds of oil pressure. So it took 6 quarts of oil. But like I said, I wish my rollover would have been that nice. I'd have gladly. Well, that was my 6 quarts of oil that went into Billy's car, so I'd have gladly put 6 quarts of oil in my own car and a left rear tire. So
And a radiator at some point in time.
I'd run it. It's sealed.
Tommy, big plans for Salina Speedway this year. What do you got? Tell us about the special shows. Do you know the specials you have come up this year?
Yeah, of course I do. We already had Dirt Fest, so that was one special. Sprint cars will be there May 27th again.
That's a good show, by the way.
Is that the ASCS?
No.
We're doing an NCRA?
We're doing the NCRA NSL, the GoMuddy.com NSL series, along with the NCRA guys.
Okay.
They've been putting on some good shows this year so far. I haven't really followed it much, but I've watched some of their racing, and they've had a lot of. I mean, I think the least amount of cars they had was 30 at a track, but if I remember right, that was during the week. I know a lot of the NCRA guys are looking forward to coming up because they feel they can more closely.
What weekend was that again?
May 27th.
27th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So same as always, last weekend in May.
Yep.
Then we got the Topless Show, first weekend of July. What else we doing? We got a tentative end of the year show for I think it's the September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. We had a lot of luck with Dirt Fest. A lot of drivers from up north that had never been here before had heard some stuff about the racetrack, and so they decided to come down and try it for themselves. And what they heard, they were glad they came because they could dispel that stuff. And I'm glad we could put on a good, track show, whatnot for them as well. So.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the National Sprint League is actually ran by Tony Stewart now.
No, well, I don't know if he is. Is he co-running? I know Tommy Estes is big into. I'm thinking he's their director.
Estes
and maybe,
is,
yeah. So that's I don't remember what Tony Stewart's involvement is, but I know it's something pretty big. So it'd be cool to see him in a sprint car at Salina Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe he could get Kyle Larson and some of those other guys to come on down.
How about somebody with talent?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We do have a message for you. Only thing better than the racetrack was the gizzards. I can't tell you who that came from. I'm thinking it's a driver somewhere, but I don't know.
I guess everybody likes them. So guess what? We ordered more. So Friday night, come out. We have, I don't know how much. I think we got 100 pounds, I think. So come out. Let's sell all 100 pounds on Friday, you know?
Holy cow. Like I told you earlier, I've never had a gizzard. You ever had one?
I told you I only go to Beatrice because they have gizzards.
He did
Really?
say that. That
He
was just
did.
like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay, I got
and
it
I mean,
now.
I went there racing last year. We took that was my first my inaugural hobby stock race. I showed up, missed the driver's meeting, went and got gizzards. So
That's what a lot of people did when they found out we had them. I mean, some guys are like working on the car. Whatever, their car's not even unloaded. They're at the concession stand getting the gizzards.
Order gizzards.
tell you what, I hope they're good. So
I think we're good. Thank you.
Everybody says they are, so I guess you'll have to try them.
I will definitely eat some this week. More of my money going in your pocket.
It's awesome.
I love it. Makes up for all the times I snuck into the pits.
Surely you didn't do that, did you, Little Cross?
Hope Chuck Fairchild ain't listening because he got the worst at the end of the stick. But Tommy's got at least 4 or 5 times.
Better make that up.
I probably ought to give him $100 and
got-
walk away, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna.
We got snagged one time sneaking in, clear way back in Salt Hawk Speedway days at Hutchison at the little quarter mile.
Lord have mercy, that
Yeah.
was a long time
My
ago.
brother and I, we were in the back of our truck that had a topper on it, and we were hiding in the back of the truck. And after the races, I'd always go up to the deal and get Dad's money, and got up there, and it was a little short of what we were supposed to have. And I said something, and she says that was for you and your brother's pit passes.
Oops.
Gotcha.
Got snagged, didn't even know it.
The only thing, and I'll just say this. I mean, you know, I give tickets away every week. I mean, we give probably 100 to 150 tickets away a week to try to capture the non-diehard fan.
Sure.
But like pit passes, I still give some of those away. But
I'll take 10.
folks that you know, tend to kind of slide in or whatnot, it's okay until something happens. Because
Right.
if they're down there
Then-
without a pit pass and they didn't sign in, I mean, one lawsuit, it doesn't matter what racetrack you're at. One lawsuit, the racetrack's done.
You'll be done.
You're done because
Yeah.
no insurance company will take you, especially, you know, they understand that there's no way you can possibly, I mean, there's going to be a sneaker here, or somebody jumps the fence or whatever, but if anything ever happens to that person, it's just, it's bad news for everybody. And I've wanted to get into the pits free a lot. And, you know, as a promoter, myself at our racetrack, any promoter that comes to my racetrack, I let in for free. I don't expect that anywhere else, so I'll pay, you know, but yeah. Anyway,
Since
I know
you-
people do it, but
Since you took over the racetrack, let's talk a little bit about the insurance and stuff. How picky have they gotten as far as your catch fences, your bleachers? Does they get?
well, the way the racetrack was 10 years ago, they wouldn't have got it
You
insured.
wouldn't have got the race.
No way. Not
Yeah.
at all. Not absolutely not. I mean, you know, everybody remembers how it was before.
Sure.
The grandstands were too close to the racing surface. You know, the wall being, you know, how it used to be. Just a lot of things they've really hammered down on, you know, and so they are picky, but they're not, if that makes sense. So I'm sure we probably get away with stuff that, you know, other places might not. But I try to make it safe, you know, and
yeah.
everything, all their main safety indicators, we always pass, you know, with flying colors. So
You know, I need to back up. Hang on just a minute here. If somebody were to sneak into the track, into the pits, and get hit by a debris off of a car or something like that, they wouldn't be covered under your insurance, would they?
I mean, I don't really honestly know the answer to that question. I just know that, you know, some lawyer somewhere would try to sue, and then the insurance company, would get involved, and then it would be a question as to how were they able to sneak in and all that. So I really don't know, because everybody's supposed to sign the waiver
Right.
and get a pit pass before they go down. I mean, honestly, a waiver's as good as the paper it's written on, honestly. I mean, especially in Kansas. But, I just know, the insurance company might be able to fight them off, but you're done after that. They're not going to insure you. That's
they
one reason
won't.
why I, at Salina, don't condone or allow beer to be drank in the pits. Because all it would take is one time somebody was drinking and they got hurt and beer was in the pits. That'd be it. You'd be out of business.
How do they get by with that at like the Super Nationals?
I don't care.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't know. I don't care. It's not me. I don't know how they get by with it. I don't know if they just do it. They pay a higher liquor liability, maybe. I don't know. Knowing Lottie, he probably just does it. I don't know.
Knowing Lottie,
he
probably just does it.
But
Just
honestly, I have no idea.
Huh.
I don't know how they do it at Hayes. That's their racetrack.
True,
I don't know. And again, I don't care. If they can do it, great. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I choose not to. I've seen
Yeah.
too many things happen where alcohol's involved,
Sure.
and it just ups the ante 10 times.
Yeah.
So just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought a rookie with me a couple year ago to the racetrack, and he reaches in the cooler and grabs a beer pretty early. Races were still going on. I said, "You can't do that." He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Afterwards, you can. And that's what it's there for."
Everybody likes to drink beer, but honestly, if it can't wait 3.5, 4 hours, really.
Yeah.
And it should be able to. And I've heard instances where, hey, that driver was drinking a beer. Again, they're not thinking of anybody else at all, because, you might be able to think, I can drink one beer, or I can drink 2 beers, get in an accident and go to the hospital and let them blow. If they draw your blood alcohol, they can give you a DUI.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but they can.
Spinagle is all I have
There
to
you
say
go.
on
Yes,
that one
exactly.
right there.
Exactly.
Tony Spinagle.
He used to race all the time. Down a beer before he went. It's
Wow.
nobody's safety is in mind when somebody does that.
Yeah.
And he's not in a car anymore, is he?
Well, IMCA banned him.
Yeah.
For life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done for life. Definitely got in a car intoxicated twice. First lap of a B feature, destroyed 8 cars.
Yeah.
So, and got out and wanted to argue about the black flag being thrown at him.
Yeah.
He probably had a
He shoulda
valid
went-
point
He
until
should
he
have
fell
went to
down.
jail. Yeah, he should have went to jail. Is what he should have
There's
done.
no reason why. Reason why he didn't get a DUI is because he's on private property.
Yeah.
There's no reason why that he shouldn't have went to jail. He shouldn't have got charged with that. He destroyed 8 race cars. There's people's lives in danger. And he would have never got busted until he got out on the front straightaway and fell down. He was that drunk. So
That's crazy.
And
That's
we've been
crazy.
around this long. Bobby, you've been at every racetrack. Bill, you've been at every. I can name 3 drivers right now off the top of my head that I race with weekly, or not in my class or not in my class, that I know that they've been drinking before they ever get in a race car. So one of them, I think he drives better with 6 beers in him. So.
Oh no.
And what sucks about hearing that is that
It's the truth.
it is. But what sucks even more too is having to. So a driver, if they choose to do that, makes a racetrack or somebody. You make me make a decision.
Right.
If I ever think or any of that, I care. I have a little handheld breath alcohol device. And, if I stick it in your face and tell you to blow in it and you refuse, you're not going to race. And 2, if you take it, well, you're not going to race. And then we'll talk about what's going to happen after. Because it's not, I'm not driving a race car. I'm up, in the infield somewhere or whatever. But when you're driving through the pits, there's people walking. You walk through the pits, Eric, Bill, everybody, And if you're racing against somebody on the racetrack and you've been drinking, it's stupid.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bad part of it.
Yeah. Boone though, seems like every year you never really see any actions going through the pits, but we're all guilty. We got in Tuesday night, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you'd have never found me sober at 2:00 in the afternoon. So I drank so much Tuesday night, we were drunk till Thursday, and I didn't even have to drink. So
And you do that because you can.
Yeah, they sell alcohol in the pits at Boone, and
I bet they sell a bunch of it.
Oh boy.
yeah, I bet they make a killing.
Oh Lord, yeah. Steak sandwiches too.
That was the best thing about rolling over at Boone. Mike Petersilly brought me a steak sandwich. he said I can't fix your car. I can't do nothing for you, but I know this will make you happy.
Oh,
I said,
God.
yeah, I've no. He brought me a Coors Light and a steak sandwich, and I quit right there. The car was parked. The record truck drove away. I ate my steak sandwich and started drinking my beer. And he didn't realize what that $10 he spent did for me. So
Those steak sandwiches are something else.
now you gotta get those at your racetrack too.
I don't. You know what? We tried. I really did. I know the place that provides them at Boone and
Cattlemen's
stuff.
Association.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, because the amount of money that I would have to charge for them just to even break even would be just it would be
do it, huh?
no. I mean, the average fan's not going to spend $7 on a steak sandwich. I do,
Yep.
and I would spend $8 or $9 on a steak sandwich, but the
they're
average
good.
fan is not gonna
had-
gonna spend that money.
I've had one. They're good.
Oh, they're good. They're
2 years
great.
ago, me and Jeff Jermark had a competition on who could eat more,
No, you
and it
didn't.
finished at 20 and 21.
Oh God.
And
That many steak sandwiches?
yeah, he got 21 because he took one home.
Okay, well, I'll bring some in. You guys can have a contest at $7 a pop. You guys can pay for everything.
We were there for 7 days, so we spent $140.
You spent
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought you
What
meant
do I
one
look
time. I was
like?
Holy cow!
What do I look like?
I thought maybe you did that in one day, Little Cross.
No, but there's times I go get 2 for a meal. So
You could easily eat 2. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
2's nothing.
Yeah.
They're good though. They have
your
cheese
money,
curds
I'll eat
there.
3.
They have cheese curds there. Have you ever had those?
Cheese
The
curds,
deep
yeah.
fat fried. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's an idea. Fred, he's not watching. But
Onion petals.
We've thought of
Fried
Bloomin'
Oreo-
onions,
Fried Oreos.
fried Oreos, fried
God.
Snickers, cheese curds.
Yes, because America's not fat
cheese
enough. Let's keep
sticks. It
going,
doesn't-
Tommy.
Yeah, it's cool. As long
Keep
as you're
going.
buying it, I'm
Yeah.
providing it.
Yeah. Look at this guy. Put a buck in his pocket. He's a happy camper.
And you're getting fatter. I'm glad. Yeah.
You know, where they say you could fry
Anything.
You could fry a sole off of a shoe and it.
I thought about, no kidding, I seen it on the internet. They fried a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
They dipped it in some deal and they
Yeah.
fried it.
Yep.
It looked amazing, actually. But
Oh my God.
A cheeseburger between a daylight donut. Or not a daylight, a Krispy Kreme. They have that Krispy Kreme at the fair. They got a Krispy Kreme and have put a cheeseburger in the middle of it.
I don't know about that. But speaking of that, Boomers here in town makes a chili cheeseburger in between 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. And it is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
cow.
23, I'd love to have a
Wait.
heart attack. Let's go get one.
It's I mean one here and there. It's you got to try it. It's something else.
How did the Race Talk show go to food?
Tommy Hendrickson.
Put a buck in his pocket.
I can make a buck off of that.
If we sold grilled cheese chili cheeseburgers, I wouldn't have to sell anything else because
That'd be it.
they're good.
Wow.
If you're out there watching
Keep
and
the
there's
gizzards.
anything,
There.
they will put a buck in his
Chris
pocket.
Humphreys
let
is
him
in
know.
the crowd. He said, "You got to keep the gizzards." He
We'll
likes it.
keep those because we sold like 60 pounds in a day
2
and
days.
a half.
Yeah.
40 of them on Friday. So-
He had 6 helpings. There's your
Holy
biggest fan
cow,
right there.
6 helpings.
It's left side weight. He's trying to get his car go a little faster off the corner. Bet she turns good in the center.
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw cheese fries come out of the concession stand.
Yeah,
too.
we can put whatever. I mean, you want cheese? We'll put chili on them, whatever. Chicken strips, we have those. We have dipping sauce for those too, and we don't charge extra like McDonald's and whatnot. So don't go to McDonald's before you come to the track. Eat our chicken strips there, and we'll give you free sauce.
We'll give you the sauce, all you want.
all you want.
Save your 10 cents, folks. Chicken strips at Salina Speedway.
It'd be like at Sonic with the little tray carrying them around.
But he's
Can't
touched
help
on
you.
something, Bobby. That used to be the deal. I mean, you went to the races, took, you ate there too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't anymore. That's why we let kids 15 and under free, because it costs a lot of money. I mean, 2 adults, 2 kids, and then they want to eat, and
Yeah.
dad's going to drink beer. Mom probably will too. Nowadays, you can drop $50,
Yeah.
and the occasional fan doesn't want to do that.
wanna do that.
You know, you go to the movies. We don't even want to talk about that, what it costs there. But you know, if mom and dad can get in for $20 and 3 kids can get in for free, well, maybe they'll spend a little bit at the concession stand and they'll
Yep.
eat there instead.
Exactly.
And our pricing at our concession stand is less than. And I go to these racetracks, so I know it's less than any other track around. So.
It brings up a valid point. I've been to, I couldn't count, 100 different racetracks. I've never went to a racetrack where military got in for free. They always have a discount. Tommy's lets all military personnel in for free with ID, and not that supports this country more than them guys are the reason why we're able to do what we do.
Sure.
We're able to go racing and do stuff like that. So I respect you for that, appreciate
Thank
you
you.
for that, and
Yeah.
appreciate all the men and women out there that do fight for this country, because I'm not man enough to do it. I'd go to McDonald's to flip cheeseburgers before and live off property before I could do that.
They actually probably are going to make more money an hour now. I mean,
I'm thinking
honestly,
about it. So I could probably go racing off a McDonald's salary here in 5 years. So
we
thank you for allowing
yeah.
those guys in.
Yeah, that's
You're
cool,
welcome.
Tommy. That is.
To touch on that just a little bit more, so we allow active duty military, National Guard, all those guys. They're not active duty, but they hold an ID card. Retired vets with an ID card, and we also allow the spouses of
wow.
the military, men and women, to get in for free because they have a dependent card, and when their husbands or their wives are gone, they're kind of holding the fort down. So it's the least we can do.
That's cool.
That's how I first got started at Salina Speedway. I know there's probably times you wished I hadn't ever showed up, but
Yes,
really, Cross.
I had to get my pun in eventually before the night was over.
But Dad retired from the Air Force, and he'd raced jalopies out in California, and he'd heard about Salina Speedway, and so out we went, and used to sit a couple rows down from the tower or whatever you called it back then. It's the thing you tore down, but
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Man,
Death trap.
yeah, it was. Whew, boy, it was.
Tower?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it was something. You know what? It wasn't gonna fall down because there was telephone poles that was holding it up, and it wasn't gonna fall down. You were just gonna fall through the floor
Yeah.
eventually. But anyway, so Bill, we'll switch this to you and ask you a couple questions.
Great.
So I think we have 13 late model shows this year in Salina. I know Hayes is going to run at least one. I've heard of a second one. Looks like Thunder Hill's got them on the schedule once a month, so there might be 4 or 5 shows there. And I think, is C-Ray running? Is he running 10 altogether with Thunder Hill and RPM, or is he running just 10 himself?
I think he's running 10 altogether.
I got you. So between C-Ray and us, there's 23 shows. How many of those are you going to run?
I'm gonna make all yours.
Oh, well, that's good. I like to hear that.
I'm serious. I mean, you're my home track. It all depends on my job.
Sure,
And
sure.
what all I can get done. I mean,
and
I've
how
got-
bad the car
Yeah, I've got.
is
There's a
wreck?
weekend coming up. This week is going to be tough. I've got a sales meeting Thursday night and Friday in Kansas City.
So just bring your car out Wednesday night and leave it there.
It'll be loaded up Wednesday night when I
Okay.
leave.
Do you
It'll
need
be
me to go
loaded.
pick it up and drive it to the track? Because I will.
I'm going to need somebody to do it.
Okay,
If
I
you're
will.
working during Hayes,
Where's the
I'll bring
keys
my
at?
seat over.
Where's the keys? Just you tell me later on where the keys are
Yeah.
at, and I'll make sure it's at the racetrack.
Because I'll just
on Friday.
drive. Because they're going to let me go from the sales meeting at 2:00 from Kansas City. I'm on this side of the speedway, so on this side of Kansas Speedway.
Oh,
So
but
You'll
Lord,
be
no,
here by
either-
3:30.
I can make it from Topeka to Salina in about an hour and 15 minutes. You'll be
Yeah.
golden.
Legends. We're staying at Legends.
Okay,
so
that's
where
still,
it
that's
is.
all right. So that's nothing.
Hour and
2
55
hours.
minutes.
You're good. If
You're
you
looking
leave
at the
2,
guy- you're looking
2
at
to
the guy
4,
that's
you'll be
got-
here by 5. You'll be at the racetrack by 5:30.
You're
Yeah.
looking at the guy that's had 5 warning tickets on the year. folks.
Bobby-
That guy that's on his phone all the time on Facebook.
Bobby knows how to drive a truck with the trailer on it. He
It's
can bring it
speeding.
for you.
Yeah, he's going to be down south helping the Peels. You know how that goes.
No, he's not. They're fine. They got their own stuff.
They got
He can
6
take-
Mexicans.
There's a whole bunch of Mexicans. They got building parts. They do a good job too.
Do they? Okay.
Oh yeah, they make trash cans and
there.
lids and tables and parts and you name it. They make it.
But that's the chore for this weekend. If they let me go at 2:00, I'm golden. If not, I'll scoot out of there as quick as I can.
Just when we get done, just text me where your keys are going to be at, and I'll make sure it's at the racetrack.
Okay.
Then all you got to do is come straight there.
That's what I'd like to do.
Okay, well then, tell me where they're at. I'll
That's
go get
every
it.
racer's dream.
I'll go get it.
To show up on Saturday. It's sitting there ready to go.
Friday. Not Saturday. If I'm Saturday,
Friday.
I'm a day late, Cross.
Yeah. Well, everybody races on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's the racer's dream. Everybody rolls out of bed hoping one day that, man, I'm not going to have to foot the bill. And somebody's going to work on my car all week. I'm going to sit on the beach, fly
He's
out
not working
Friday.
on it. He's just driving it to the track for me, okay?
I hear you.
Yeah. I just, the reason why I asked is because I was just curious, because with 23 shows, that gives, I'm hoping, one of our local guys, or I'd like to see several. We went to, so 2 years ago was our first year with Naismith.
Right.
Delbert Smith got third in the weekly track points, and Chris Kratzer got eighth or 10th? Eighth.
He was in the top 10.
He was in the top 10. So we were there. We were the only track. Now, mind you, we're a new track with Naismith. We're the only racetrack there that had more than one person in the top 10. And there's a lot of racetracks down there that run, some of those guys run 26, 28 shows a year.
And I mean, in all honesty, I'm doing this for that class. I have I know, I have a love for the late models. I do. I always have. I know. I've been told I sucked. I don't care. I'm out there doing it. It don't matter. Yes,
You're out there.
You're out there.
That's all there is to it.
I hit a tire in the parade lap. I get it.
That's like making fun of a fat guy at the gym.
Well, I do
He's
that
at
too.
the gym.
Hey, people make fun of me
that's it.
every morning. So.
But I want this class.
easy.
I want this class to succeed. I do, and I think it's a viable option with the crate engine. There's a lot of people that are on the fence versus crate versus open motor, this or that or whatever. I think it works this way. I do.
You're always going to have people on the fence, and I'm not a fan either way. I honestly don't care, but I challenge you to find me a racetrack in the United States that runs weekly late models, and they're not crates.
Yeah. That's the engine cost has gotten so skyrocketed. I mean, can you imagine? And then here's the other thing: you put all those cars together with crate engines in them, and you really can't tell the difference between as long as all the cars on the track have a crate engine, you can't tell that they're slower than the open engines. And I don't know. I think it's a viable option.
Most people can't. And again, around our area, for the people who have late models here, open engine late model racing is, unless you're going to go run MLRA, Mars, that stuff. But most of our local guys can't afford to compete with that $25,000, $30,000 engines and, traveling all the time. So I thought this was a viable option.
I think you started the curve. I think the greatest thing for dirt track racing in the world is crate motors. Now, Eric Hogan with EQ and all these small engine shops would argue with you, but the fact of the matter is that racing has gotten out of hand. The price has gotten out of hand, and the crate motor brings that back. So.
And I've got engine builders that are friends.
Yeah.
And I guess we're going to turn this into a crate engine thing, but
No.
I have engine builders that are friends, and I don't want to take anything away from them. I don't want to put them out of business, but we got to get away from the high dollar cost of racing engines, and the crate engine's the way to do it. Right. And what it did was it showed those guys that we can do more with less.
With $5,000. And the thing was, all these guys start building horsepower, and they still can't hook it to the ground.
Right.
Yeah. In a modified and in a hobby stock, you got 8 inches of tire on the ground. What do you need 4,000 horsepower for?
Yeah, because you can't put 4,000 horsepower on 7-inch, 8-inch tires.
You can't.
You can't. No.
Tyler Fry won Saturday in Hayes with a sport mod motor, different heads, different intake, different carburetor.
Yeah.
So that goes back to prove that we've been building too much horsepower, spending way too much money. But
and I think you can look at it this way too. I firmly believe that Dale Earnhardt Sr. wasn't always the best driver out there. And he raced dirt a little bit too, but he was the one most willing to not lose.
Right.
That's a lot of it. And the guys that are most willing not to lose are the guys that are at their shop right now listening.
I know. I should be working on mine too.
Stuff, it's not a wash it on Sunday, pick it up on Friday, and go race anymore. That's not the way. You can't compete that way. If you don't spend 40 hours in the shop and you don't have friends helping you, it's hard to go win races. Whether you're in a sport compact, hobby stock, sport mod, all the way up to a sprint car. you have got to work on these cars to go win races. So
Yeah.
the fact that we have taken some of the money issue out of it to where guys can afford to run crates, I think is amazing.
The disheartening thing with the late model is now they're spending killer dollars in suspension parts.
That's fine. You're not racing against $30,000
Yeah,
motors.
but you're not
Yeah.
racing against $30,000 engines, and a lot of people make the comment, that this guy spends $15,000 in a shock package. Well, if you find me one local area racer in Kansas or whatnot that's spending $15,000 on shocks, and I'll give you 15 grand. Because they're just
That's
they're not
not.
they're it's not out there. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, he spent this much money on this part, or he spent this much money on that part. Well, I mean,
Bobby's going to come out to my place Wednesday night late after bowling, so it'll be another late night for Billy, but we're going to put it on a set of scales. And I hope that when Bobby gets out there, he's somewhat impressed about what I know about this car because I've spent the time on it. I've done the work to it. It's a newer car for me, and we'll see. There used to be years when Bobby would ask me a question about it. I'd say, I don't know. I know this. I know what I have.
Sure. And if he comes out to your place and puts your car on the scales and he's impressed, I'll be impressed because he knows what he's doing when it comes to setting up a race car.
We'll see when he gets there how close I am. I'm
Maybe
excited
I'll come
to
set
see
my
that.
car up. What are you doing this week? By set up, I mean put it together.
You can have him Thursday night.
the engine in, the seat.
My poor crew. Chuck's not going to be able to be there Friday either. He's sick. But
It's Tuesday.
I'll tell him that when I get done here. He
Tell
sent
him
me a
that
text.
Call
send
Chuck
him
right
a
now.
text,
Four
be
of
like,
us will
look,
tell him. It's
we'll all
Tuesday.
tell him it's Tuesday, man.
I know. That's why he says, I'm getting sick. I'm not going to be there Friday. But he did. He
I'm
He
getting
helps
sick.
me a
I
lot.
won't be there tomorrow night.
Yeah, you will. I'll come get you.
See? Look at that.
We tried a different seat combination. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I tried for the first time a full containment seat. All those things are 20-degree layback.
Yep.
I don't like them. I don't like them.
Like to sit straight up?
Yeah.
Do you buy a new recliner and not kick it back?
I don't like it,
He
Eric.
just sits in a kitchen chair.
Yeah.
He don't have a recliner.
yeah.
It's cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Just a kitchen
Are you,
chair.
are you stating that he's at the kitchen table all the
Yeah,
time, or is he watching
no,
TV?
he's
in a
watching
chair?
TV in a small room in a kitchen
I
chair.
turned my TV off, too. I'm not home enough.
Comfortability is the best thing in a race car. There's no doubt. So whatever is comfortable to you.
We tried 3 different seats.
Yeah.
I'm back to my old one.
Yep. The best thing was
I did buy new belts.
back when those full containments first come out. I was with my dad at Belleville, and Delbert Smith had an old seat. And my dad asked me, he said, why don't you have full containment? And Sam said, because he ain't here to be comfortable. He's here to win races. We done. See you later. So that was a good point.
I take every other safety precaution I can.
Yeah.
I wear a good suit, gloves, all that stuff. But I just couldn't find it. I tried. In fact, I got one out there that I got to give back to Jeff Olson that he let me try it. And I just didn't like it. I don't know what it is,
Do you
Eric.
have 2 headrests?
No.
I would. The shoulder. It's the side supports and the shoulder supports that make you claustrophobic and those things that make guys uncomfortable. But I would never crawl in a race car. Like Tony Slothour let me borrow his car. I fit in his seat perfectly fine, but he has no headrest, no shoulder supports.
I've got one on the right side.
I will not climb in a race car without 2 headrests and a Hans device on. You roll one once with a Hans on, you realize that, man, I never moved, and that was your life. So there's a reason why all this stuff's invented. There's a reason why people mandate it.
I wouldn't be.
And I like that.
I could put another headrest on it. I could put one on the left side, and I've thought about that.
I would give you one. If you want one, I would give you one.
I'll do that.
Okay.
But it's tough for me to get in and out of it, and I don't like my legs kicked up like this. I'm just not comfortable.
You cut the left one off a little bit so you can get out.
I
of it.
did that
Okay.
on the other one, not the one Jeff tried me.
Eric will show you how to do it.
Yeah.
We'll get her done.
All right. Anyhow, yeah. So Tommy, to answer your question, I'm going to run every one you have. I'm going to try the Hayes ones. I may run up to Thunderhill a time or two. I do like that racetrack for some reason. It's kind of a let it run.
It's an easy racetrack.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's just an easy racetrack to drive. Really.
I've always been and I still believe this to this day. If you can do well at Salina Speedway, you can do well at other tracks. Salina's it's a different track to drive.
You have to. You can't just go and I mean, you can't. It's not like you're on cruise control.
Right. You have to drive it.
drive the racetrack, and
You do.
sometimes I think that fact keeps some guys away.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. It's not easy to get around. So.
And then there's nothing wrong with it. It's not negative. It's not meant to be negative. It's been that way forever.
I didn't build the racetrack.
I'm not. But it's and if you can master Salina Speedway, you can go other places. But Cross is an anomaly.
I'm a perfect example of that in my own opinion. We won at Hayes, we won at Waukene. Those guys out there are very tough. We went to Boone, we made the show. I go to Salina, I look like a 3-year-old that's never drove a race car before. I cannot get around Salina Speedway. It frustrates me more than anything. This is my hometown. This is where all my fans are at, my family. Everybody I know is out here. And nothing frustrates me more than not being able to get around Salina Speedway. And every driver we talk to out there will tell you Salina Speedway is the most complicated racetrack to get around. And if you can master that, you can go anywhere and race.
Yeah, that's true. And it makes it fun. It's fun. That's why I'm doing it. It's fun for me.
It's fun no matter what. I mean, just to be out there, whether you're racing, whether you're watching, the atmosphere, everything about it. Tommy brought Salina Speedway back to us. We got a home track to race at. I drove an hour and a half Saturday to go race. Yeah, that's fun at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but at midnight, it's not fun to drive an hour and a half home. And so we're lucky. We're appreciative to have that. Everybody knows me, and Tommy knows I talk a lot of crap on him all the time, and he throws it back at me. So, but nobody's more appreciative out there than the drivers and everybody like that to be able to race at Salina Speedway. So, thank you for that too.
Yeah, and there is a show later in the year. I probably will miss, and I looked, and you are racing that night, and you're racing my class. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got to go. I'm getting up for promotion at work. I'm going to Ohio to the home office on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I haven't got my itinerary yet as to when I'll be flying back, but if I can make it, I'll make it. And some way I'll get the car there and I'll be there.
Oh, sure. I mean, everybody, not everybody's going to be able to race every race, but, we'd like everybody to be there for every race.
Well, that's what I'm geared up for. When they called me and talked to me about that, I was like, yeah. But, it's work. It's for my career, so I can't race without my career. So.
Sure, you got to eat.
Which one pays the bills?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. I've missed a lot of races the last couple of years. Which one pays the bills?
Yeah.
I don't make any money showing up at Salina Speedway on a Friday night.
No, neither do I. I don't know why I still do it.
Yeah.
I sold 60 pounds of chicken gizzards.
I hope we sell 100 this week.
Wait, sold a lot of beer. Fans are full. Everything was full. Made a lot of money. I don't know why I show up, but
you got to love Cross. He doesn't hold anything back, and
I'm not Willy Wonka. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. All right.
Attaboy. But thanks for running those shows and stuff, and we'll see where I end up. I'm going to try it.
Well, hopefully, with Salina's Friday, you've got Hayes on Saturdays, and Heartland Park, going to Sundays. It would be kind of neat to see some guys do a little bit of traveling because, who knows, maybe we can get a champion or something out of our area again. I mean, I know Tyler Fry won it last year, but, maybe we can get somebody in the hobbies or the, one of those guys because there's more racetracks to run at, now.
I really thought when I heard Heartland was going Sunday, Atchison and Salina and May all the Stephen Bowers. I think he's gonna run a lot of races. He's a guy that could probably bring something like that back.
He
too.
could. He's a good shoe, and if he's got enough, racetrack to run at.
Looks like Tyler Fry is probably going to be your National Rookie of the Year already, the way he started off the year.
He's starting off
doing.
hot.
But,
that's right.
I think that it's good to see these racetracks in a world of racetracks shutting down. It's nice to see Kansas actually excelling. Frostbusters, they're getting 8-9 cars last week, and Iowa's starting to fall off, unfortunately. Racing's getting expensive, but it's nice to see Heartland Park open back up. It's nice to see racetracks around here succeeding.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 30 miles away from us is grass for life.
Setting dormant, yeah. Yep. And that's terrible, too, because it was a great facility. Facility.
I'd love to drive 22 miles to go race on Saturday.
Exactly.
I mean, there's nobody that would argue that.
Yeah, no one would.
And it's a shame. I think it's priced way out of the market. You know, it's probably
Unfortunately,
priced what it's worth.
Exactly, but unfortunately, it's priced out of the market for what market it's in.
Yeah.
And what market doesn't have bleachers?
Yeah, right.
Well, they're
right.
missing half of them, right?
Yeah, they're gone. So
That's crazy. So
unfortunately.
it'll probably never open back up.
Hey, you never know that. We said that. Honestly, we all said that about Salina. A lot of us were worried about that. So
People even said that on May 5th, 2011, because we
Really?
raced May 6th.
yeah.
So everybody said May 5th, 2011. Oh, they're not opening up. And
As
May
everybody
6th, we
was there
raced.
overnight hanging orange plastic.
Yeah, we were
with
out
orange
till
tracers,
we were out there till
stapling.
2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that
remember that.
sucked.
Man.
But hey, we got it done.
Wow.
And it was joint effort by. Oh, there was a lot of people there. I mean, I remember several, but I'm not going to mention any names because I'll forget somebody. But there were a ton of people there with staplers, and yeah, we were going to town. But hey, we made it happen.
That
That
stuff
was
lasted,
crazy,
didn't
wasn't
it?
it?
Woo, man.
The first windstorm.
Yeah, it was gone. She gone. But you know what? Insurance company seen it. They left, and everything was good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was
There
great.
we go.
So we're good now.
We're
we don't
racing.
have no worries.
Bobby, we're way past the hour mark. We can keep going, but I mean, I think you might be hungry. I'm not sure. Bobby's hungry.
Food over there.
Okay, you want to close this up? Anything you got?
Yep. Nope. Just
Thank you, guys.
thanks, guys, for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It
sticking
was
around,
great.
Too.
Great
This
time.
is probably what we're going to try and do the rest of the season is do an additional hour at least on the Race Talk Live online part of the program. Is that the game plan? What? Every couple of weeks we're going to do it? Okay.
The whole
so-
team is relying on you there, David. So
That's right. All of us.
Yeah, don't let the whole team
Yeah,
down.
don't let us down. Tommy, thanks for coming
Thank
by
you.
tonight. Eric,
Thank you.
you too. Congratulations. Good guest tonight. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me.
See you guys Friday.
Guys.
Bobby, as usual, for Bill Grant, Bobby Potts saying so long. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.